best with yourself. So I want to talk to you about, have you ever asked yourself, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing for myself? Am I prioritizing myself, or am I prioritizing everything else around me? There was this concept by Jay Shetty that I really want to share with you. It's called the root and the weed. The root is our mind. The root is what is confronting the truths about ourselves, what we want to change with ourselves, things in our life that we're not happy with, pleasing others, living for others, opinions of what people think of us. The weeds are those opinions. So the weeds eventually can surround the root, which is our mind. So we have the root, which is our mind, and then surrounding that are the weeds. The weeds are our intentions. It's what we don't want. It's the distractions. It could be school. It could be relationships. It could be work. It could be going out with friends all the time. It could be putting so much time and concentration into other people and not doing that within yourself. Those are the weeds. Now, the weeds, what happens is throughout our life, as we go through our different processes, our different experiences with our age, the weeds grow and they surround that root. So what happens is, as we get older, we begin to either feel lost in the life that we're living, whether maybe we're thinking that we're living it for other people, or questioning if we're really living our life for ourselves. But the weeds begin to build and surround that root, which is your mind, and then you begin to lose sight of who you are, of who am I? Like when I ask myself, who is Zahira? Am I thinking about what other people think Zahira is, or am I thinking about who I truly am and who I truly want to be? So the biggest thing is, when you're trying to understand yourself, a lot of times we sometimes are only focused on understanding the perception of what others have of us, which in turn we think we understand ourselves because of how other people understand us. But that's not the right way to do it, because then you realize that you're getting lost in that thought, and it tends to take away your focus from the root, which is your mind. So I want to talk more about things that we can do to help us connect more with our root, because once we understand the truth of ourselves and we dissect the truths about ourselves and the things, and we connect with our inner self, it takes a longer time. It's a process, but it's something that's truly worth it, because it will last forever and it can never be taken away from you. That defines who you are, who you represent, what you believe in, and it's for yourself. It's not for anybody else. Once you can get a grip on that, you begin to realize that those weeds will slowly go away, and then you can live in the element that you want to live in. The next thing I want to go into is the opinions of people. When we focus so much on the opinions of people, we do begin to not understand ourselves anymore, because we're so concentrated on everyone's thoughts and opinions of us and what they think and what we should be. For example, coming from my background of, I'm Middle Eastern, families always have opinions of things. Parents always have opinions of things. Sometimes there is judgments. There's a lot of love, but sometimes there is judgments and things that you can't control. And that's the problem. Sometimes we do want to control what people's opinions of us are. But at the end of the day, sometimes you can always do the right thing and what's best, and people are still going to have an opinion about you. So you have to focus on you, not focusing on the opinions of what anyone else thinks, because that traps you. That traps your mind. And you're not able to explore and develop and understand your fullest potential and what you can offer in this world. Passion A lot of people will think passion. What is passion to you? Think about that for a minute. Ask yourself, what is passion? Is it, I'm passionate about writing? What am I good at? Passion is for you. Purpose is for others. Sometimes people get that confused. They think, oh, my purpose is to help people. Yeah, okay, your purpose can be to help people, but what is your passion? Your passion is going to lead you to your purpose. Once you can put those two together, then you're able to fulfill what you need to fulfill in your life. There was a quote by Jay Shetty that really stood out to me, and he said, you can't be what you can't see. So, meaning that everything that you have been given, have you sat back and asked yourself, why? What is your biggest why? For me, when I think about that, it's such a deep question. You can't just say, oh, okay, my why is because I want to be successful because I love my family. That's an example of you trying to do your purpose for others, but again, you're not finding your passion. Your passion is your why. What makes you get up in the morning, or what makes you think at nighttime about the most, that is what is your passion, and that is what your inner drive is. We have to understand that all of us have a special gift inside of us. For me, it could be writing, it could be talking with people. Maybe for others, it's math. Maybe some other people, it's engineering. We all have a special gift that we were given. The things in the outside world can tend to crowd that. It's like, think about a garden, and you have one flower standing in the center of the garden. Then, as you begin to plant other seeds and other things come up in your life, and you're planting more seeds, and you're growing that garden, right? That garden is growing, and you're having more plants, and now you're having more flowers and things like that. But the original first flower that was in that garden sometimes can tend to be lost, and you can't find where it is. That's basically looking at it as yourself. We grow up, we go through school, we go through experiences. Those experiences can shape us. We can learn a lot from those experiences, but it doesn't always define who we are. What I truly feel is when you do understand yourself, and you have a moment to have time to spend with yourself and to reflect on yourself and to understand, okay, this is who I am. This is what I believe in. This is what I want with my life. Sometimes you don't even know what you want. I thought I knew all the time exactly what I wanted, or where I would be when I was 25, or what I would be doing at the time. But it doesn't always work out that way, because we tend to get stuck in that motion of life where we're understanding life more, and we're understanding things around us, but we're forgetting to understand ourselves. So when you discover the opportunity within yourself, that is when you unlock your full potential. We think about speakers, for example. I mentioned Jay Shetty a few times during this talk, and the reason why I mentioned him is because I really love the way he looks at life. He looks at life from an outside lens, a different perspective. He dissects everything, but he was not always like that. He went through his own trials and his own experiences. There's another guy who I really look up to. I love his videos. I love what he teaches. His name is Steven Furtick. He is phenomenal. He has awesome videos about relationships, advice, life, everything. Joyce Myers, for example, Rick Warren. Just a few of those people have had some of the most moving stories about their life and experiences that they went through in their life. And a lot of them came to a low point in their life where they didn't know where they were going. They didn't know what they were doing. They didn't understand what success was at that time in their life because they thought they already knew what they were going to do, but it didn't work out for them that way. Everyone has to hit a point in their life where they begin to say to themselves, what am I doing? Is this really the job I'm supposed to be doing? Is this really the relationship that I'm supposed to be in? Is this a friendship that I'm supposed to be in? When we get to that point in our life where we actually have a moment to hit that point and ask ourselves, are we really happy? Do we know who we really are? Or do we just know what people think of us as who we are? So I challenge you guys today to ask yourself this question. What is your crazy dream or your crazy goal in life? Think about that. I actually want you guys to leave a comment. You can go, once we post the video on Instagram, you can comment. And I want to know what your craziest dream or what your craziest goal is in life. Now, if you feel like every day that's what you're thinking about or what that craziest dream or goal is, then that is exactly what you should be chasing and nothing else. Money can come, opportunities can come, but you cannot truly find your opportunity in this world if you do not find your opportunity within yourself. You will never find it because you're going to always hit a wall and you're always going to be asking yourself, why isn't this working? This is what I thought was supposed to be for me. This is what I thought was supposed to work out for me. You're going to keep running and hitting that wall. So there is a quote also by Tony Robbins that I really love. And it says, a dream without a plan is just a wish. Tony Robbins said that. And that makes a lot of sense. Everything in our life has strategy. Everything that we do, right? How we approach our jobs, how we get through school and graduate. We have a strategy behind everything we do. Take the strategies that you use in your life for your outside world, your work, school, relationships, friendships, things like that. Develop a strategy for yourself to find yourself. Reflect, write, read, spend time with yourself. It's okay to have a date with yourself and to spend time with yourself. I've been doing that lately, just being by myself, especially with what's going on right now. Everyone is kind of isolated from each other. Use this time right now to spend time with yourself, to ask yourself, what are the areas that I'm not happy in my life? Where are the areas that I do feel happy or where I could improve on or where I could do better? You have to focus on you, the root. You are the root. Nothing else can come or blossom if you are not watering everything in your life and taking care of you first. So I challenge you guys today to understand and maybe write down 4 things that would help you with achieving your passion and your purpose. And reflect on that and think about where you see yourself and where you want to be and what you want to do. To me, it is the most valuable thing that you can do and the most helpful thing for yourself, because success is understanding you. Like I said before, if you discover who you are and the full potential of what you can offer to people, then there you go. You discovered your full potential of who you are. Then you're able to offer that full potential to yourself and to others, and for them to see you be who you are and love who you are every single day that you wake up. So I actually want to lead into a video for you. It is by Jay Shetty, and it's actually how to achieve success and what is success. It's about everything in life. And I really want you guys to pay attention to the video, put down what you're doing, just watch the video for 10 minutes and really think about yourself. Where have you been giving your time to? Have you been giving it to yourself? Have you been giving it so much to your work, to your friends, to your relationship? challenge yourself today. Reflect on that question I asked you. What is your crazy dream or a crazy goal in your life? We're going to go into the video now. I thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much for your time. We'll be back tomorrow. If you have any commentary, please comment. If there's anything that you guys want to see or want to learn more about or talk about, please drop a comment below and let us know what you want to see. Thank you so much. Have an awesome day.
My parents had a maths tutor for me because they wanted to be amazing at maths. I was pretty good at numbers, and I'd have this tutor and he'd tell me that, he goes, the reason that you're struggling with the next question is because you're always worried about what your parents think. And that really stayed in my head. I was just like, wow, so as long as I'm trapped by what my parents think, I can actually never find the answers to the real questions of life. Most of us just throw ourselves into the deep end and then try swim and figure it out. The problem is we all went to normal schools that try to put stuff in us rather than take stuff out of us. You know, you were told at school that you weren't very good and you weren't good at English, and now you have a New York Times bestseller, right? Yeah. And it's like no one noticed that potential inside you. No one noticed that, oh, Lewis was really creative. And you're not the only person. There's so many people who feel like that. So the modern schooling system didn't extrapolate your self-actualization, your element, and just try to put maths, English, science inside. So the point is that you're trying to get to such a strong foundation that when you interact in the world, you're going with a sense of strength, fuel, energy to make a difference. Rather than going into the world and then going, oh my God, where am I, trying to figure it out. People were so far removed from their own understanding of themselves that they were either lost living a life they didn't want to, lost living up to someone else's expectations, or lost becoming someone to impress someone else. How many of you have a crazy dream or a crazy goal? I want you to write out in the comment section, what is your crazy dream? The dream that keeps you up at night is the real dream you should be chasing. But to chase that dream, to find that dream, to make that dream a reality, you need a strategy, right? A dream without a plan is just a wish. Tony Robbins said that, right? A dream without a plan is just a wish. You can't be what you can't see. If I never saw a monk, I would never have wanted to be a monk. If I never meet a billionaire, I wouldn't want to be one. Because I wouldn't know what that feels like. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what it takes. What am I good at? What do I love? What does the world need? And how do I get paid for it? To me, those four help you unlock your passion. I often say to people, your passion is for you, your purpose is for others. Your passion makes you happy, but when you use your passion to make a difference in someone else's life, that's a service, that's a purpose. My goal has never been financially or materially oriented. I see that stuff as the byproduct of doing what you love. I genuinely believe that. It's always been that way around for me. My focus is to create entertainment that truly has educational value, but without us always knowing it. I think we all learn best when we don't know that we're learning. If we're all pushed into a classroom and told we have a class, we're all not listening. Start at a place where you have self-awareness, self-actualization, you have figured out what works for you, what your strengths are. So I think it starts even at a physical level. Anyone who's a physical fitness or a health coach will know that different bodies need different food, different sleep, different fluids. We don't all need the same thing. Me and you with different body types can't do the same workout. Our bodies have different tolerances in different things. That's self-awareness at the physical level. We know our limits, we know what we can do, we know what we can't do, we know what our challenge is. On a mental level, what's self-awareness? Knowing what type of people I like to be with, knowing who helps me grow and who drains me. That's mental self-awareness. I believe that the answers come from within and we're not asking the right questions. I feel we're always looking for the right answers, not the right questions. And the biggest companies that we respect today, the biggest organizations, all came from trying to answer a question. It all came from trying to solve a problem or a question that we were able to identify. So my work comes from a very simple study that I read that said the most successful people in the world choose education over entertainment, and the most unsuccessful people in the world choose entertainment over education. I know people who graduated at 21 and didn't get a job till they were 27. I know people who graduated late at 25 and they found work immediately. I know people who never went to university but found what they love at 18. I know people who found a job straight out of college, making decent money, but hate what they do. I know people who took gap years and found their purpose. I know people who were so sure about what they were going to do at 16 and changed their mind at 26. I know people who have children but are single. And I know people who are married but have had to wait 8 to 10 years to have children. I know people in relationships who love someone else. I know people who love each other but aren't together. So my point is, everything in life happens according to our time, our clock. You may look at some of your friends and think that they're ahead of you, or maybe some of them you feel are behind. But everything happens at their own pace. They have their own time and clock, and so do you. Be patient. At age 25, Mark Cuban was a bartender in Dallas. It took till 32 for J.K. Rowling to be published for Harry Potter after being rejected by 12 publishers. Ortega launched Zahira when he was 39. Jack Ma started Alibaba when he was 35. Morgan Freeman got his big break at 52. Steve Carell only got his break after 40 years old. Virgin was started by Richard Branson at 34. Getting your degree after 25 is still an achievement. Not being married at 30 but still happy is beautiful. Starting a family after 35 is still possible. And buying a house after 40 is still great. Don't let anyone rush you with their timelines. Because as Einstein said, not everything that counts can be counted, and not everything that's counted truly counts. And this is the most important thing. I want you to be able to create meaningful, purposeful, fulfilling lives for yourselves, and learn how to use that to make an impact and a difference in the lives of others. That will be true success. Priority is on the root of things, not the leaf or the symptoms. You're not dealing with your challenges at symptomatic level. You're dealing with it at root level, right? People say, oh, if you're stressed out, just take a stress pill. If you're stressed out, just go to get a massage. If you're stressed out, just relax, watch Netflix and chill. But all that's doing is pacifying you, escape for that hour, 2 hours, maybe a week. But going to the root of it and learning how to change your breath means you can manage any situation in life. Always go to the root. It will take longer, but it will last longer. Always go to the root. Cut down the root of that weed in your heart. Cut down the root of that weed in your mind. Don't just let it grow and kind of water a little bit and snip, cut it a bit. Just really go to the root and just knock it out. Get rid of it. Get a big axe and cut it down. The biggest weeds that we all get is on our intention. So when I say intention, I mean my current intention is to use everything I've been given, everything that I have, in the service of others. But every day that intention, which is a beautiful little plant that's growing, gets weeds around it. No, do it for the money. Just do it for the fame, do it for the followers, do it for this. All these weeds are like going around my real intention every day. Every day. That's a weed. A weed is the intention that you don't want. And the problem is, sometimes you've let it grow so much, the weed looks like the plant. And you start believing it's the same thing. I've always had friends who are older than me. And I could see a lot of them in the most successful careers, successful jobs, beautiful partners, whatever it was. But I saw a sense of lack of fulfillment, meaning, and purpose in their lives. And I've always been an observer, and I would see these people who are like 5 years older than me, 7 years older than me, maybe 10 years older than me. And I'd be watching them and go, is that the life I want? And often the advice I give to people today is fast forward where you are, look at yourself in 10, 15, 20 years time, and ask yourself the question, is that where I want to be? I think it's Thomas Edison who says, when you feel you've exhausted every option, remember you haven't. And Einstein said, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will spend its whole life believing that it's stupid. And too many of us are fish trying to climb a tree. Too many of us are monkeys being taught how to swim. Too many of us are lions being taught to live like cats. We're not getting to live in our element. Live in that element that you've naturally been given.